Hi there, and welcome to another edition of Mark Your Post. Today, we're super excited. We have the one and only Cody Heyne with us, sponsored by Barnett Mortgage. This is Mark Your Post. Cody, thanks for being here today. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Mark. How are you doing today?
Good. Why? What have you heard?
Good things from our conversation so far. It's been a good day. So
Nice. Yeah, it has been. It has been. Yeah, but thank you for being on the show.
thanks for
We
inviting me.
appreciate it. We're here to learn a little bit more about you as a person, but then also your career as a real estate agent.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
So I'm sure the listeners, they don't want to hear me yabber too much. They want to just jump right into it. So tell us, Cody, was there an aha moment that made you think I was made for this? I was made for real estate and helping people.
Yeah, Mark. I've had a couple, to be honest with you, but
Huh?
I'll just dive into one.
Sure.
So everybody in our industry, they love closing day. They love being able to bring their client success on their goals. But a lot of times you hear the stress and frustration about the rest of it, all the preparation and the work that comes before it, from the very first conversation you have with the potential client all the way up to closing day. And I was talking to another agent about this, and they were kind of complaining about how stressful and how much work can go into that.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I love that. I love the preparation, the planning, the strategy,
The hard work.
and just seeing it all come to fruition to help my clients meet their success. It drives me on a day-to-day basis.
Nice.
So, just hearing other people's struggles with that and thinking of how I love it, it was kind of an aha. I think I'm made for this kind of moment.
Good. Well, I know that anybody that works with you on the listing side or the buying side, they're definitely in good hands because we work together quite a bit.
Yeah. Thank you.
So good. Of course. So what would you say is your superpower that makes you different than other agents?
Yeah. And rather than me saying this, I tried to think back to what other clients have said.
Okay. I didn't know if we were having another guest or anything. So
Oh, no.
It's a line of people out the door saying, well, this is what I think Cody's superpower is.
Because I always ask for feedback from my clients of, hey, what did you love or what can I improve upon?
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm complimented most on is my calm demeanor, even during a storm. When you're, during a real estate transaction, there's always going to be a hiccup.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's through appraisal, preparation, negotiations, inspection, finances. There's always something that comes up. And having a clear, emotionless response from the professional that you trust, I think has been one of the biggest compliments that I've received. And I think that would be my superpower.
Okay. Like being level-headed, right? And taking everything in and then giving a logical, professional response to the situation.
Without the emotion driving it.
Yeah.
Just the practicality behind it.
Yeah.
Because it's an emotional journey for buyers and sellers, and understandably so.
Okay.
So having that professional in your corner that can take the emotion out of it and advise you without that emotion involved, I think it'd be paramount to success.
Perfect. All right. I love that.
Thank you.
And so that moves us on to our next question. And that is there a value that you could mention that you could bring a potential listener, like a hack or a tip, a trick, something that you could show them, something that maybe a listener doesn't know about?
Yeah. And adaptability is one of the biggest things.
Okay.
Being adaptable to the different type of market and making sure that the real estate professional you choose, whether it's me or another great agent out there, also has that adaptability in their mind.
Sure.
Right now in our current market, I think pricing is it's always really important.
Oh, yeah.
But pricing to the competition versus the comparable sales is a really important tip and trick that I would share at this moment in time.
Okay.
And if you're working with another agent, have that discussion with them. How does this stack up to our competition? Because that's what's going to have you win in our current market, I think.
Okay. And you said a term that maybe some of our listeners are not aware of, and that's comparative sales. So can you dig a little deeper on that? What does that actually mean?
Yeah. So when I'm coming up with the pricing strategy for a home in a certain neighborhood,
like if you're listing it,
okay. Getting it ready for sale. You'll basically draw a circle around that neighborhood and find the homes that have sold in that area that are good comparables to the one that you're looking to market.
Okay.
That can give you a good guideline of where to price the property.
Sure.
And I do that step first. And then from there, I take a step back and I say, all right, what's our competition? And you have that baseline from the comparable sales.
Yeah.
And then you start matching that up to, all right, who are we competing against? And how can we make this home the obvious choice compared to the other ones out there?
So, for example, if there's, let's say, multiple homes for sale in a neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
you want your client's home, of course, to stand out from the competition. That's what you mean by that.
Absolutely.
And then the comparable sales are maybe homes that have recently sold in that neighborhood that are like the subject property.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So thank you for clarifying that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for making sure it was clarified.
Sure.
I know being in this business, there's a lot of lingo that we use on a day-to-day basis, and not everybody's familiar with that.
Yeah, and acronyms and all kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I kind of fall into the trap of forgetting what some of them mean, or how they're spelled, like FHA. Sometimes I forget how that's spelled.
Yeah, you're spelling it FAH. Wait a second, what does that mean?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and then the underwriters are getting upset with me and everyone else on the lending side.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've learned about your professional life. Thank you so much for going through that with us, Cody. So let's shift gears a little bit, and I'm sure the audience would like to know, what is it you like to do for fun if you're not helping your clients, which you have a son, right? Yeah, named Jacob, and he's 8.
He's 8, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm a realtor. I'm a son, but I'm a father first.
I like
that's really an integral part of my personality and just what drives me in life.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I do for fun is centered around him.
Yeah.
Whether that's just us sitting in the living room and playing some chess, or getting out to the mountains and exploring, or playing catch. It changes on a day-to-day basis, but that's what brings me the greatest joy currently in my life is my son. Now, of course, he's growing. He has friends. He's outside all the time. And I don't always get those father-son moments, especially as he grows older.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I love to read. I'm a big boxing fanatic, which you don't find too often in Northern Colorado.
Yeah.
It's just not as popular around here.
Say that. Yeah.
And I love getting up to the mountains. Those are probably the trio of things that I love to do on my own free time.
So I imagine you're probably a pretty good boxer.
No, I wouldn't say that. I do it for fun and exercise.
Okay.
So I do it more for the exercise.
Mess with this guy is what I'm saying.
No, I wouldn't even say that. I'm a fanatic about watching it. I love the sport. There's a certain magic to it, to the preparation, to the athletes, the stories behind it. I think it's a magical sport.
Because the sport itself, you're in the ring for 36 minutes.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, but for each of those boxers, they can train for an entire year, in between fights, right? So that goes back to what you were saying earlier about your professional life, where it's all about preparation. It's all about structure, right? And doing all that due diligence and making sure that everything is in line. And then you hit the go button. Then you get the home on the market, or then you get your buyers in the car to go show them properties that may fit their needs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It applies in so many aspects of life. When it comes to a boxing match, they always say the fight isn't necessarily one in the ring. It's one in the gym beforehand.
I like that.
And I think that applies to real estate. It applies to other professional careers. It applies to fatherhood or motherhood.
Yeah.
You can apply that concept anywhere, and I think it's true.
Yeah.
The more preparation and thought behind your preparation and hard work behind it, the more you're going to succeed in the end.
All right. I love it. Yeah. So it sounds like people can't go wrong by hiring you to represent them either on the buy side or on the listing side when it comes to real estate. And you serve Northern Colorado.
That is correct. Yeah. Okay. I'm Longmont and North.
Cool.
And I know Denver pretty well. I'm born and raised Northern Colorado, so I know the area really well. But I try to center on where I spend my time.
Makes sense.
And that's Northern Colorado.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially the fact that Northern Colorado just seems to be growing so much and ever changing, right? So yeah, completely understandable.
Yeah.
So lastly, Cody, how do people get a hold of you? Do you prefer a phone call, a text, website, mail? What do you prefer?
I would say phone call first.
Okay.
There's not much that beats a voice-to-voice or face-to-face interaction.
Sure.
So ideally a phone call, and then we get to sit down and actually have a face-to-face conversation is ideal for me.
Okay.
But I'm not naive to our modern world. You need to shoot me a text, always available.
Yeah.
If you need to shoot me an email, that always works too. We make do. We're adaptable in this industry. We have to be.
That's what I was about to say. You're preaching your own word, saying that you're adaptable. Yeah. Because I'm of that culture as well, a little old school, where it was always the phone call. But now we're starting to see more texts come in with questions and we have to be adaptable to that, or we'll record a quick video just to run somebody through the math. Yeah, you have to use technology that's out there to help all of our clients. Yeah, it makes sense.
And it makes our life easier in a lot of ways, the technology out there. So if you're resistant to it, you're probably just harming yourself when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, voice to voice or a face to face interaction, it's hard to beat that when you're getting to know somebody.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. And so what is your phone number or your preferred number? Is that your cell number?
So it'll be my cell number.
Okay.
970-402-5469. Basically always available. And if you don't reach me, I'm probably giving somebody the service that you would expect. I'll get back with you.
Yeah. Or ask Jacob if you're in the mountains.
or I'm with Jacob and he's tackling me somewhere. That happens too. So.
And then what about email if people prefer email? What's that?
So it's CODY, first name, dot Heyne, last name, HEYNE at remax.net. So first name, dot Heyne at remax.net.
All right. Sounds great. Well, you've heard it from Cody himself. I think he's a great match for anybody looking to buy real estate or list their home, sell real estate. Cody, thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you, Mark. It was a pleasure.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, we're sponsored by Barnett Mortgage. This is Mark Your Post.